Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to a monster analysis on the Koi Boy and Robo Tito, two new monsters that have just been released in the game. Well, to be honest, Robo Tito, he is the Tails monster, so he'll be out later in the week. And then currently we're all racing for the Koi Boy. So let's analyze the monsters. Let's see whether or not they are worth it. When I saw the loading screen for the Koi Boy, I thought he was going to be some sort of an attacker, but look at that. Rank 3, he's actually a Mega Taunt monster. Alright, so we'll start by analyzing him, and then we'll go to Robo. So rank 0, Hardened. Rank 1, Cooldown immunity, so that basically means you can't get hit with CDA. I don't feel like there's been any meta CDA monster, so that's not a big deal. Hardened protects you 20% chance from all negative effects. The biggest thing you got to watch out for is dots in the game, so unfortunately, you know, I'm really pushing for monster to be immune to dots. That's what we need, even if it's a status caster. The Mega Taunt is nice, of course. You can use this monster depending what kind of team you're on. You can get him at rank 3, rank 4 even. So I think we might see high usage of this monster just because of that. I think, though, it will ultimately depend on his skill set. He's in the Honor Dojo. He's in the Dragon. So yeah, for the Dragon book, we've got a Mega Taunt monster that we can utilize. Who's the last Dragon? I guess Syntheris, Daedalus, those are other Mega Taunt monsters. Zoomorph as well. Alright, let's see. Stats wise, he has the highest life stat in the game, tied with Fropsy and Goliathus, so very, very nice. Power 10, 7, 14. I don't think that matters. Speed 82, 17. I also don't think that matters too much. Alright, Relics is armor and a trap. Okay. Master of Repeat deals low water damage to all enemies. Irrelevant. Ah, there it is. I've said this before. I love when my Mega Taunt monster, my monster that's meant to protect the rest of the team, has some sort of utility to him. So, aside from Mega Taunting, he can also freeze the enemy. 0 cooldown, not that it matters, you're immune to cooldown activation, and 18 stamina cost. Okay, I do like that it doesn't deal damage, which means you're not going to be triggering 7 sins or talents or dots against your team. Or, not dots, relics. So I do like that. Against the Tide, apply stamina regen and 50% damage protection to itself. I like damage protection, don't care so much for this stamina regen, but I guess it's better than nothing. Dragon Twister, low water damage to all and drowned, irrelevant, not gonna need. Fin Smash applies drowned and freeze to an enemy, and a 50% damage protection to itself. This is very nice. It only has a 1 turn cooldown, does cost 36 stamina, but you are hitting the enemy with a dot. You know, dot is a percentage of the enemy's life. It doesn't matter what their HP is, it's a percentage. You're denying them with a freeze, and you're protecting yourself. A 50% damage protection is the same as doubling your life, right? Because if you had 100 HP and an attack would normally deal 200 damage, well, that 50% damage protection makes it so it only deals 100. So again, it's almost like doubling it. We have Koidokin apply. Was that fire? What the heck? Deals moderate fire damage to an enemy, applies burn and stamina regen to itself. Interesting that this water monster has a fire-based attack. 40 damage burn. Honestly, you're not really there to deal the damage. It's mostly for that burn. I'd say stay away from it, even though it's kind of cool that he has it. Let's see. He might have some usage for it. Water Spout deals low water damage to all enemies, applies freeze to all enemies, and a 50% damage protection. An AoE freeze, realistically, I don't think you need the AoE freeze, but I do like the fact that you damage protection. So that could be the use for it. I will say, as a Mega Taunt monster, he doesn't really have any way to recover his life or shields, so I'm not liking that. Yes, he can freeze the enemy, but hey, how are you going to heal? You need to heal. You're a Mega Taunt monster. You're absorbing attacks. Knockout deals moderate water damage to an enemy, applies drowned and Mega Taunt. So I don't know how I feel about this monster now. He is a status caster Mega Taunt monster, which is always usable, but you do risk him dying potentially. I don't even know if I'd want to run Knockout. Do I really want him to reapply Mega Taunt? If he's vulnerable and he has no way to heal, the most he can do is damage protection. Honestly, he's more of a denier. He starts to get me off with Mega Taunt. It'll get cleansed away early on, and then you freeze the enemy. I don't really know if I'd want to reapply Mega Taunt. I mean, unless you're running with an Uriel, and if he dies, it's okay. He comes back to life. You have Blue Moon, and you can is it Black Moon? If you have Black Moon, he dies. You can resurrect him. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. Again, he's a status caster Mega Taunt monster, which is always nice, but he mostly has denial. Yeah, he has an AoE freeze, which is interesting. I don't think we normally, if ever, have seen a Mega Taunt monster with an AoE denial. His ultimate attack, that actually heals by 50, Mega Taunt, 50% damage protection. I mean, I'd probably do the the freeze and damage protection. I'd probably do the basic freeze, one with water, so 2 freeze skills. I don't think I'd run the AoE, even though it does apply the damage protection. I feel like by the time this monster gets a turn in, you don't need that AoE. Totally up to you though. If you wanted to run that burning attack, you could. And I guess it is useful to have utility and reapply that Megaton, so probably knockout, but I don't necessarily know how I feel about him. Like, I like that we're getting him in the race, and a lot of players will have access to him, but I'm a little iffy on him if I'm being honest. Let us move on. So we have Robo Tito. Life 141k. It's good, but not like crazy high. I think it's like a little higher than average. Power 10593. That's also average. Speed. Whoa, he is fast. Alright guys, this monster is tied with that of Bio Wormbot and Darman. Only K911 is 22 points faster than Robo Tito. So we're looking at a fast monster. He has tough. Alright, that's 35% chance to not get hit with negative effects. He's immune to control. Ha, take that monster to have cold blood and can deny whoever you want. Nope. Well, not really, right? I say that because they can bypass taunts and megatons. Obviously, if you have evasion, you know you're still protected. But yeah, immune to control. They can't possess you, they can't freeze you. You're immune to bleed as well. Super useful considering we have the bleed hater. We have self pyrophobic shield. 3 turns, nice. Random elemental weakness against the enemy. Ooh. Alright, essence. If he dies, he comes back to life. The Tails monsters are always typically really good. Trap relic as well, so you can recover stamina, drain enemy stamina with that. Mechanical Good Legion's Adventures. Shelfer Flowers deals moderate nature damage to an enemy and nature weakness. So it's a 0 cooldown skill. It deals 30 damage, but that nature weakness sets up for you to do another nature attack. Actually, really quickly, glancing through his skill sheet, his attacks are pretty weak. Right? I'm seeing a lot of zeros. I don't know how I feel about him now. Okay. Let's see. Young Robot deals low thunder damage to an enemy, applies thunder weakness. He is nature and thunder, by the way. Okay. I wonder why that one is so much weaker. Moderate nature, low thunder, nature weakness, thunder weakness. It's half the damage. They both 30 stamina, 0 cooldown. That's interesting. Preserve nature removes negative effects and applies random protection to an ally. Okay, I can see supporting like a Megaton monster or a Taunt monster. Biodetonation removes positive effects and applies random elemental weakness. I like the cleansing. The random elemental weakness is like a hit or miss. Artificial environment removes negative effects and applies pyrophobic shield to allies. That's probably going to be one of your main skills. That makes it so you can only take damage from fire-based attacks. If the enemy doesn't have fire-based attacks, your monsters are safe, and it's a cleansing. Blossom Overload removes negative effects and applies damage boost to an ally, gives 1 extra turn to itself. Okay, interesting. It is a self extra turn. So looking at the cooldowns, he typically has low cooldowns anyway. 1 turn, 1 turn. The high one is that pyrophobic shield. So it's a damage boost, and then you do something else. And I do like that it cleanses, right? The cleansing component to this is nice. Your attacker has a negative effect. Nope, it's gone. You even give him a little damage boost. You can do something else. Automate Cleaning deals moderate thunder damage to an enemy, removes positive effects from one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself. Oh, things got a little interesting now. So this has a 1 turn cooldown. Blossom Overload has a 2 turn cooldown. So you can do Automate Cleaning, get rid of the enemy. Let's say the enemy's, funny enough, let's say the enemy is using their new Koi Boy from the race, who's a water monster, by the way. You are able to do Automate Cleaning, get rid of the Staticaster Megatons, hurt him a little bit, give yourself an extra turn. You can do Artificial Environment, you can do Blossom Overload, give yourself the damage boost, cleanse any negative effect you have. Maybe when you hit him, you got hit with some negative ailment. Okay, you cleanse that, you have a damage boost. Then you can do Automate Clean again and attack again. Remove positive effects from someone else or attack the same monster. Get an extra turn. Interesting. Balls for Energy deals moderate special damage to enemies. Applies nature weakness and thunder weakness to enemies. Okay, so it's a special based AoE. Nature and thunder weakness, which sets up for your other attacks. I think the problem with this monster is like his... Well, I guess you're mostly going to use Automate Cleaning. That's your strongest skill. Thunder weakness, 30 damage. I don't know how I feel about the monster. He's interesting. He's an attacker. He can be used as an attacker. He's a weak attacker, but I guess that 40 damage thanks to the damage boost is like a 60 damage. So he's used as an attacker that cleanses, but he can also support your team by removing negative effects and doing that pyrophobic shield. If I was to run this monster, it would be Artificial Environment, Blossom Overload, Automate Cleaning. I'm not convinced on Biosphere. Deals moderate special damage, applies nature weakness. There's definitely a lot of use cases with this monster with Holter's Gun, so I don't want to discount him. If you're taking on Anticipation monster, obviously you got to watch out. There's even a Anticipation Relic in the a talent, an Anticipation talent in the Galactic era, so you gotta watch out for that. He's an interesting monster. I feel like you could run him as full support, 3 team speed, or maybe 1 speed, 2 team speed. He has Essence, so again, he can resurrect. You can use him to just protect your Megaton monster. Like, you're using him, King, and some attacker. You can remove negative effects from King, because he's gonna absorb a lot of dots. Anytime he gets negative effects, it's like negative effects, Pyrophobic Shield, negative effect damage boost, ET, remove positive effects from the enemy. So I think he has use cases. I like him. I like him a lot, actually. Technological Biome removes negative effects from our allies, triple damage and evasion to our allies. I don't think he'll be PvP meta, but I definitely do like him. He'll be fun to use. And then Koi Boy starts to catch a Megaton, so he'll have some usability, but I think I like him less than I like Robo. Alright guys, so that's my analysis on the monster. Let me know what you guys think. Any thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.